Today we're talking about what are the odds? I'm here on location. I'm in California, and there's so many things swirling around my head. There's so many things that I'm thinking about. But one of those things that I'm thinking about is what are the odds? You know, when I was about 5 years old, and I've told this story multiple times, but there was something that just prompted me to share this with you again, because so many of you are thinking like, I don't know if Jesus could do that. I don't know if Jesus will do that. I see what he's done in your life. I see what he does in Pastor Troy's life. I see what he does in Jerry Ann's life. I see what he does to everybody else. But what about me? And I just want to say, what are the odds? So when I was about 5 years old, there was this church bus used to come into our neighborhood. It used to pick up families, and my family didn't frequent church. We believed in God. I wouldn't say that we knew much about him, but we knew Grandma knew about him, and Grandma would tell us about Jesus. And we knew enough about the church. We knew that St. Mary's was on the corner. I was raised Catholic, and but we weren't church attendees. And so this church bus comes into our neighborhood, and it was an Assemblies of God church, and the bus comes into my neighborhood, beeps the horn, and that Sunday morning, I just get on the bus. I don't tell anybody. It's still early in the morning. Everyone's still sleeping, but I'm up, and I get on the bus, and I go out, and they take me to church, and they call my mom. My mom comes and gets me. I guess they recognized that I wasn't with an adult. My mom comes and gets me, and I walked out of that church, and I walked straight into the wilderness for a really long time. Well, fast forward to 2023. I was in Fort Worth, Texas, and I grew up in Los Angeles. So now we fast forward in 2023. I'm at this church conference, and I end up in the green room. Pastor Troy, my pastor, said, "Hey, you're going to go into the green room." So I go in the green room, and with all the other VIP pastors, and I meet Pastor Brian Bolt. I didn't really know him at the time, but I meet Pastor Brian Bolt, and he ends up come to find out he pastors in my hometown, which is Whittier, California. And so we hit it off, and no sparks fly at that moment, but eventually he invites me to his church to go speak and share my story. And I was like, oh man, so great. I'm going to invite all my friends. I'm going to invite all my family. Like, I just want to share the truth with them. I want to share the gospel with my family. So, I look up his church, and the moment that his church comes up on the screen, because I Googled it, right? And it comes up on the screen, and I'm just stunned. I'm just stunned. And like tears just start coming down my eyes, because it was a church I got on the bus when I was 5 years old. 40 years after I got on the bus as a 5-year-old kid, God brought me back to the very place I met him. And I believe he did that to let me know that he was always with me. And the thing is, I wasn't pursuing God. What he showed me is that he was always pursuing me. And so I want to say, what are the odds? What are the odds as a 5-year-old boy that I'd get on a bus, and it would lead me to a church that the Lord would put his hand on my life, and I would walk out of that church and straight into the wilderness for 40 years. There's a biblical reference to that. The Israelites were in the desert for 40 years. Jesus was in the wilderness. He was in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights. And so I was in the wilderness for 40 years. And then at a conference in Texas, not even in Los Angeles, I meet the pastor that now pastors the church where I'd gotten on the bus. And what are the odds? What are the odds that God would bring me back to that place to show me that? God is so good. He's so loving. And there's a scripture in Exodus chapter 3, verse 12 that says, "Moses, this is how you're going to know that it's me who sent you. Because one day you will come back to this very mountain and you will worship me here." Friends, God took me back to California. Took me back to the very place I met him 40 years later. And on that day, I worshiped the Lord. And that day, I was the preacher. And friends, so as you're thinking about everybody else and what are the odds that God can do this, I want to tell you that God has been the one pursuing you. And the best thing to say is that the odds are in your favor, because God has been pursuing you your whole life. He wants to do the miraculous. He wants you to know that he has been with you your whole life. And you know, I think if I would have knew that God was with me my whole life, maybe my life would have turned out a little different. But even though God wasn't like throwing the flashers on, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm here. I've always been here. I mean, maybe he was, and I just didn't see it because I was on a different frequency for so long. But what he did is he just constantly put people in my life that would pray for me, that would lead me to him. And so friends, maybe there's somebody out there, maybe there's people in your life that that God is always trying to recalibrate you back to him, back to the North Star, back to him. And friends, the odds are in your favor. So yes, what are the odds? Well, the odds are that Jesus pursued me as a young boy, and 40 years later, he brought me back to the place I met him, so that one day I could be sitting here and I can tell you about all the good things that he has done, and so that you can start looking for him yourself, because he loves you and he loves your family. All right, I just wanted to share that with you. I think sometimes we just need encouragement. We just need to be encouraged to know, like, because this world is heavy. There's so much going on. I mean, there's wars and rumors of wars, and gas prices are going up, and we're just like, you know, our kids, we got things going on with our kids and our families and finances, and we're just like, are you really sure you're there, Jesus? Are you sure? Because there's some days I don't feel you. I don't feel the goosebumps. I just feel alone. Friend, the odds are in your favor. He has been pursuing you, and he's always been with you. Well, this is the word of the week. Don't forget to go to alifetransformed.com. Don't forget to check out our swag and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you're constantly getting all of our new material. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.